All right, let's dive into Sakar Healthcare. They are right in the middle of this huge shift, turning themselves into a specialized oncology powerhouse. And it looks like they've just hit a really critical strategic inflection point. So what does that actually mean? Let's break it down.
Okay, so what exactly was this inflection point? Well, let's start with the effect. The sudden market craziness that threw Sakar Healthcare right into the spotlight. So if you look at the technical chart, you see this classic pattern, right? Higher highs and higher lows. That screams bullish momentum. Now, the source analysis does point out that the recent price action seems a bit stretched, suggesting maybe a better entry point would be on a dip. And that momentum, it peaked right here. The stock just shot up to an all-time high, locking in at the 20% upper circuit. Now, this isn't just random market noise. This is a direct, powerful reaction to some really big news.
And this was the catalyst. The Tata Healthcare Fund came in and bought a 10.8% strategic stake in the company. You gotta understand, this is way more than just money. This is a massive stamp of approval, an institutional validation of Sakar's whole strategy. The market saw that and, boom, started pricing it in immediately.
Okay, so we've seen the effect, right? The stock surge. Now let's get into the cause, the powerful oncology engine that's really driving this whole transformation.
So here's the absolute heart of the strategy, this pivot. Sakar is making a conscious choice to get out of the general kind of low-margin contract manufacturing game. Instead, they're pouring all their resources into the high-margin proprietary oncology space, focusing specifically on complex injectables.
And a key part of making this work is their vertical integration. They control the entire process, right? From the raw materials, the active pharmaceutical ingredients, all the way to the final product, the finished dosage forms. This is huge because it protects them from supply chain shocks and gives them serious control over their costs.
And you can already see them putting this plan into action. Their dossier-first strategy has led to 102 submissions around the world. But here's the really crucial part. They've already locked in 11 marketing authorizations in Europe. That's a huge deal.
Now, breaking into Europe is famously difficult. So what did Sakar do? They de-risked the whole thing with a brilliant partnership. By linking up with Accord Healthcare, they get to tap into a massive distribution network that spans 45 countries, basically letting them sidestep all the usual headaches of market entry.
And this right here is the engine driving it all, the Bavla facility. It's EU GMP approved and meets all these super strict standards for handling powerful cancer drugs. You have to think of it less like a factory and more like a regulatory toll booth. It creates a really high barrier for any competitors trying to follow them.
So what's the financial result of this whole integrated, high-compliance model? Well, it's pricing power, and you can see it plain as day in their gross margins, which have now climbed to nearly 49%. That's a direct result of focusing on this premium cytotoxic segment.
And that pivot is showing up right on the top line. The Q3 results were just wow. Revenue jumped a massive 62% year over year, hitting over 70 crore rupees in a single quarter. Management themselves called it a defining quarter for the company. They're not wrong.
And this is what operating leverage looks like in action. When you combine that kind of revenue growth with those high margins, you get this. Profit after tax just exploded, surging an incredible 126% year over year. That's a direct payoff from the oncology pivot.
So it all comes together in their EBITDA margins, which have now stabilized at a very, very healthy 26%. This isn't some one-time fluke. It's the natural outcome of a deliberate shift to high-margin products combined with a really efficient integrated cost structure.
Okay, but a good analysis means looking at both sides of the coin. So let's talk about the potential headwinds, the vulnerabilities. Every big growth story has risks, and you absolutely have to understand what they are.
The biggest risk here is concentration. Their entire export engine depends on that one single facility in Bavla staying compliant. Any negative feedback from regulators, any bad observation could literally bring the whole operation to a screeching halt. That's a big risk.
And then, of course, there's valuation risk. After a run-up like the one we just saw, the analysis notes the price action feels, well, extended. What that means is, any kind of delay in getting their other drugs to market could lead to a really sharp correction in the stock price as the market dials back its high expectations.
So how do we put all this together? How do we balance that powerful bull case against these very real risks to get a clear picture of what's next?
The bull case really stands on three main pillars. First, there's the Tata Halo Effect, which gives them incredible credibility for future partnerships. Second, you have that export ramp-up, which is just starting to accelerate. And third, that vertical integration that protects those beautiful high margins.
So the source analysis basically concludes that Sakar is a high-conviction, long-term compounder, and the key thing to watch, the major takeaway, is that management is pointing to fiscal year 2027 as the year of acceleration. That's when they expect the full financial impact of their European approvals to really hit the bottom line.
Which leaves us with the big final question, doesn't it? Has Sakar's strategy truly built a durable, long-term competitive advantage, a real business moat? Or is the market, after this incredible surge, just getting a little ahead of itself, overpricing a story that's still got a lot of executing left to do?